Hey everybody, Grest here. So today we're going to do a cleaning, maintenance, and inspection of my CZ Shadow 2 Compact. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So just going to be a quick field strip inspection and cleaning of my CZ Shadow 2 Compact. So first things first, for the YouTube manual reviewer, this is a maintenance video. So not showing how to modify or anything like that in any way. And let's go ahead and make sure that we are clear and safe. So put the magazine over here and check our chamber. So we are clear and safe, no ammunition to be found anywhere on my workspace. So let's go ahead and start off first by taking off some of the accessories here. All right, and one of the things I wanted to check specifically, my optics mounting. So anytime you're going to mount an optics on a handgun or any sort of firearm for that matter, you always want to periodically check that it is not loosening up. And one of the things that I did notice after the last time I went to the range, it seems like, and I don't know if I can get that on camera very well, there's a little bit of loosening there of my screws. So these were Loctited and torqued to spec, but I'm going to have to obviously re-Loctite and torque those guys. So just you know, check your optics mountings, folks. I've seen a number of videos from folks where these things have flown off, not this particular setup, mind you, but any sort of slide mounted optic has the potential to loosen up and then sling off at the range, hit you in the head or whatever, and we don't want none of that. So very good idea, especially with a new pistol, new setup or whatnot. You really want to check that stuff out periodically. I'm around probably 800 rounds or so through this particular firearm, so I am creeping up on that 1,000 round mark. You can see I do have some wear already there, but in any event, check your optics, folks. That can definitely turn into some sort of an issue. So to break this feller down, you have some marks here. Okay, right. So you got to line those up, and this is standard with all the CZ pistols as far as I'm aware. So I'm still kind of learning the CZ thing. Once you get that thing lined up, you need some sort of way to push out the takedown pin. All right, just like that. And you can see I got a lot of dirt and grime built up under there. And then you should be able to pull your slide off here. Okay, so we can see quite a bit of gunk built up, carbon built up, whatnot on this particular, and we can go ahead and look inside of here. So a couple of things I'm going to be using today for my kind of quick inspection and lubricating. Since it is just a quick field strip and cleaning, I'm going to use from the folks over at Otis. This is the Ripcord 9mm pull through bore cleaner, and this is basically a bore snake type of system. Very cool to keep these in your packs or your range bag, and you know, if you need to do just a quick bore swab, these are kind of make life really easy there. So for the bore cleaner, I am going to use the Shooter's Choice MC7, also from the folks over at Otis. They sent this out to me. For my lubrication, I'm actually going to use the Suppressor Solution Ceramic Shield CS. So you guys have seen this on a number of other videos, so should not be surprised that I continue to use this stuff. All right, so back to the pistol itself. Always good to have some patches, rags, stuff like that. We'll go ahead and take the recoil spring assembly out of there and also take our barrel out. And you can see some nice honest dirt and debris up here on the barrel itself. So I typically start with the barrel cleaning, and then I kind of work my way into the other stuff. You're going to want a brush, you're going to want a rag, all that normal cleaning sort of stuff. Kind of wipe this barrel down. just a kind of a generous coating of the MC7 bore cleaner to kind of help get any of that stubborn carbon off. Take a little bit of a brush here. So as far as inspection of the barrel, so far it looks like it is got some nice honest wear on there. Finish is holding up really nice. You can see the numbering on the barrel and the lug. A little bit of wear there where the lower hood of the barrel slides, but nothing super crazy. I did have one jam with this pistol recently. Ooh, I actually had my very first jam on this thing. Interesting. So I'll go ahead and put this up to the camera so y'all can see it a little bit. Not really sure what exactly I did. Looks like it was a failure to feed. So that was part of the reason I wanted to go ahead and just do a breakdown inspection of it anyways. So let's go ahead and get our Otis ripcord 9mm bore snake style cleaning cable here. And these do come with a handle. And what you got here is basically and this is really long for a pistol, but you have basically a threaded end on here. You can add a brush or some sort of attachment, cleaning attachment if you would like, but inside the material here you have some bristles and you have kind of a spiral bristled brush inside of here, and the idea is that when you pull this thing through, it's going to clean the bore. And I'm just going to squirt. I'm not going to put any directly on that guy. I'm just going to put some in the barrel itself. And you always want to pull your cleaning brush or rod or whatever you're using from the breech end out to the muzzle end if possible. I know some rifles you can't do that with. And you can feel that thing when it gets this large brush area, it starts to get a little stiff, and really just kind of pulling that thing through a few times is probably going to be sufficient. All right, so I got a good bit of the bore cleaner in there, so I'm going to let that sit a little bit, and then I'll run this ripcord through there a little bit later. So let's focus our attention on the frame assembly. So you can see a good bit of buildup in there, but nothing crazy. As far as the wear, it looks like it's wearing in quite nicely. I don't see anything that stands out as a potential problem or anything like that. But I'm just going to do kind of a wipe down, a little bit of a brush down of this part of the pistol. Again, a little bit of this cleaning solution goes a long way. And you could, of course, use CLP, but I do like to use a carbon cleaner to just kind of get the carbon broken down a little bit. You can take your brush here, and if you want to get in the slide rails, the thin side of the brush works really well for that. Make sure everything's cleaned out. And of course, you can get down the mag well area, and if there's any gunk or grime, you should be able to get that out of there without too much issues. So again, I'm not doing a full breakdown and cleaning. I'm just doing a basic field strip of this pistol, mainly for inspection. It's not super dirty, but it's dirty enough that it warrants cleaning. I know some folks like to clean their stuff after every time they shoot one mag through it, but I'm just not that guy. I like to see how my stuff is going to work when it does get a little bit of dirt and grime, or not work potentially. So it gives me just a real world idea of how reliable that firearm can be under normal use. So you can, if you want to go further, you can remove the grips off of here and clean behind there and probably get a little better in the mag well, but I'm not going to do that today. Again, just a field strip, quick inspection and cleaning. All right, so the frame's looking pretty good. I'm just going to set that aside for now. I'll add some lubrication here in a bit. Let's go ahead and focus on the slide assembly. Now, if you have an optic mounted on here, be very, very careful that you do not get any sort of solution on the lenses or down in the emitter if it's an open emitter. If it's closed emitter, you're a little safer there. So I'm going to be very careful about any sort of bore cleaner or anything like that. A little bit on my rag. Just a little bit, that's all you need. And then you can get in here and just kind of start working through there and try to clean stuff up. And of course the brush also will help to, and look how dirty that is. So it doesn't take a whole lot to start getting carbon built up on your firearm, and you know, it's not terrible to clean it either. So I know I've been putting out a lot of CZ pistol related videos as of late. I will tell you what, I am so disgusted at myself for not picking up a CZ pistol much sooner than what I did here with the CZ Shadow 2 Compact. Now I had my CZ Scorpion for a long time, but as far as a regular handgun, not a PCC style, I'm kind of late to the game. So you know, I know there's a lot of content out here on CZ stuff, but it's just amazing how well manufactured these things are. And I had shot CZ before, but I just never, it's kind of one of those things, you know, just never got around to picking up one until very recently. And I'm already looking for other CZ pistols. They all have very similar feel. Now I have not handled any of the striker fired CZ pistols. I'm more interested in the single action, double action, but at some point maybe I get one of the P10 series pistols. And they are very reasonably priced. That's the one thing about CZ that I've noticed, is that the value for your money. Now the Shadow 2 line is a little on the high end, but as far as their other run-of-the-mill stuff, you know, the P07, P09, their SP01, stuff like that is all really reasonably priced. So, all right, so that's pretty clean actually. I'm going to hit up the recoil spring assembly here real quick. I don't really need to do a lot with that. And then also the takedown lever, or slide lock takedown lever, whatever we're calling it these days. And that's definitely got some wear going on there, but nothing, you know, it is a pin. You got stuff kind of riding on that. Nothing is gouging. It's just a little bit of light finish wear. And slide rails look really, really good. Nothing to note there. A little bit of wear right about there where the lockup with the barrel hood is, or the barrel lugs, that is. Chamber area looks very good rather. You know, not really anything to note there. On the back of the slide, a little bit of wear there on the bottom where the hammer kind of interfaces with the slide and the firing pin, but nothing too crazy. Now for the magazines, I'm not going to take this apart, clean it, but very easy. Like most all your magazines, you have some sort of a button you depress, you slide the butt plate off, and then you can drop out the spring and the follower. But I'm not going to clean it. I have a lot of mags, so those things are getting rotated through and they're not super duper dirty. Yeah, I do have to address that optic being a little starting to loosen up, so I'm going to do that kind of off camera. But I just wanted to point this out. Not even 1,000 rounds through this pistol. Actually, only probably with the optic 500-ish rounds, and it's already loosened some. So very important that you guys check these optics mounting plates periodically, just to make sure that the plate's not loosening up. And this is a very nice one from Impact Machine. I did a video on that. It's got a built-in rear sight. Solid stuff. So it's probably more something with the screws that I used, or maybe I didn't get it Loctite good enough, or maybe I need to up my torque spec. But yeah, highly recommended to check those things on a periodic basis. Okay, so we are ready to start lubricating stuff up. So I'm going to use again the ceramic shield from the folks over at Suppressor Solution. They are kind of a sponsor of the channel. They sent me some stuff over the years, and you know, really like their stuff for hard suppressor use, and then for cleaning stuff. It's kind of like a ceramic coating. It dries. It's not a grease, but it's almost like a dry lube once it dries up. So very cool stuff. Pretty much what you can do with this stuff is coat most everything with it. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of coat my barrel, coat that thing down in there, and let it sit for a second or so. Same thing with my takedown pin, my recoil spring assembly here. Just kind of coat that stuff up. This pistol is not meant to be a carry pistol, so, or I don't know that I'm going to carry it, I guess I should say. But if I did, this lubricant is pretty good stuff for your carry pistol. You just have to make sure that you let it dry good, wipe off all the excess. So that's kind of what I'm doing right here. I'm just kind of soaking stuff down a little bit. I'm going to be a little more cautious with the slide just because of the optic, but you don't need to go too crazy with it, but coat the slide rails there real good. And yeah, yep, good stuff. All right, and so my barrel sat there a little bit. I'm just going to run the bore snake through it to transfer some of that lubricant throughout the bore and the chamber area. All right, and then like I said, just kind of wipe that stuff off a little bit. And you can also apply just a couple squirts as you go to reassemble, but you just don't want a lot of excess slinging around. Like I said, it's almost like a dry lubricant. Now, if I was using just regular old oil, I would just hit the wear spots here on the slide rails and stuff like that. I'm doing a little more probably lubrication than I typically would because of the lubricant that I'm using. But just wanted to point that out. Sometimes less is more of the lubricant. You don't want to go too crazy, and you got to make sure that you're hitting the right spots. So anything that's got a wear pattern on it pretty much needs to be lubricated. So I think I'm about where I can go ahead and start putting my slide back together. So like I said, one more little kind of swipe on the barrel, and I'll just kind of rub that stuff in really good in there. Put that guy in there. That's good. A little bit on there. That's all good too. To reassemble, you have to line up those marks on the rear of the slide and the frame once again, and then you can put your takedown lever back in place. And sometimes these things seem to be a little tight to get in there, but tight is a good thing. All right, do a quick wipe down, a function check, of course. So looking good. And this is a safety, not a decocker on this particular model. So flip that guy up, no fire, and of course down there, does fire, resets, fires, and then there's my safety once again. So everything's looking good. Like I said, kind of a quick field strip maintenance and inspection. Like I said, this isn't super thorough. This is just a quick down and dirty. If you want to check your stuff out, apply some lubricant, and you know, get back and running again. Alrighty folks, so I appreciate y'all watching today's video on this cleaning, maintenance, and inspection of my CZ Shadow 2 Compact. I'm sneaking up on 1,000 rounds, but I thought it was a good time to go ahead and do a quick go over of this particular pistol. Check out the optics mounting, make sure everything is breaking in properly. If you're looking for accessories, cleaning accessories, or other type of accessories, definitely head over to my website, use one of my affiliate links, go to Brownells. You can pick up stuff like this for your pew-pews, and the channel does get a kickback. So very much appreciated anytime you guys can use one of my affiliate links. Any questions or comments on this CZ Shadow 2 Compact so far? I hope to have a final review of this thing coming up very shortly, and I'm looking towards a head-to-head comparison between the Shadow 2 Compact and the CZ P07, which has kind of been a diamond in the rough recently with my collection. So any questions or comments, as always, put those down below. I appreciate everybody watching and subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next video. Y'all take it easy.